Kelly, right now we're hearing a call to action from some of these firefighters and police officers who are asking for anyone who's in this area to bring a 5-gallon bucket. They're looking for 5-gallon buckets that can hold water. I'm not sure if I see they found one small cooler there. Perhaps they're trying to use it to mix some sort of materials. I'm not quite sure what they need it for, but if there are any people in North St. Louis near St. Louis Avenue and Newstead Avenue where we're at and can safely make it here with a 5-gallon bucket, here comes one. There's a guy bringing one right here as this effort is now. Here comes another one, another guy down the alley right there. Andy, you see him? He's bringing a 5-gallon bucket. I'm not exactly sure what that's for, but it appears that the pace has started to pick up here as some of these firefighters are, they've formulated some kind of a plan to get inside. Rhea, do you want to talk at all to us about, okay, not right now. We're talking to the man's sister. She's not ready to talk to us yet, but we understand there might be some optimism here that perhaps they can pull this man to safety. And so we're again hoping for that. It looks like this call to action has been successful. There's already been some neighbors pitching in to go find supplies in the area. And again, we're just kind of all waiting here, hoping that we have some good news to report. But this has been an intense hour or so, going on an hour and a half, I suppose, with these firefighters and police just racking their brains and trying all the ways they can. This is now the third entry point they've tried to make into this home to pull this man to safety. And you can just hear, I don't know if you can hear it at home, but we can hear in the neighborhood here just the echo of sirens all throughout the neighborhood as perhaps fire trucks or ambulances make their way through and survey the rest of the damage. We're sort of stuck here at this scene because, of course, we want to see this through and perhaps get a chance to talk to some of the emergency responders who have been putting on such a valiant effort. And I can tell you that many of the family and friends have already expressed their gratitude to these first responders. They've also said the same to us. They just are so glad to see this concerted effort and this focused effort to try and bring this man to safety. But this is just a look at the severity of the storm that we saw come through here. I mean, it flattened this home. It flattened the business next to it. It flattened the home. Andy, can you see that from where you stand here? All the way down across the way there, farther down Newstead Avenue, you can see homes collapsed in on themselves. And like you said, Kelly, a lot of the homes built in this part of town, one of the oldest parts of town, many of them were built in the late 1800s, the early 1900s. So some of these homes, yeah, they're made of brick, but you can see what happens when Mother Nature comes ripping through here.
And I don't know how many first responders are there. We're seeing, about 4 or 5, but I'm also guessing, Mark, that there are also some in the home too, right?
Yeah, right now it looks, so we have seen as many as 8 firefighters piled up around the backside at one time. And you can see now one of them is bringing some kind of a battery-powered device down there. And we've seen a couple cycle through. It looks like a couple of the first responders who actually made their way into the home first have taken a bit of a breather. They came back out, but they're sweating. I mean, they've been working really hard here. There's probably about 6 police officers on this side of the house. If I was to take you down the street, there are about 6 more police officers down there. There are several fire trucks barricading the parts of this street that lead up to the front steps here. So yeah, there's quite the emergency response, but we're going to point to the top of the house here. There's a firefighter trying to make his way up. I mean, that's a pretty dangerous climb there. He's on top of wood, which is resting on top of some iron, which is resting on top of that big pile of flattened bricks. It looks like firefighter with the last name of Hecht on the back of his garment there is looking to move through and perhaps just move some kind of obstruction out of their path. It looks like while some of his other firefighters are working from the bottom, he may be trying to alleviate some of the pressure from the top. They've really kind of taken a team effort on this. And again, we're just at the perimeter, so we can only see so much here. But by what we've been able to observe and the little bit we've been able to hear as they discuss their strategy here, we're trying to piece together some of the game plan. But again, the focus here is just on a 45-year-old man named Garfield trapped inside of this basement. We know a lot of the neighbors here, the family here, are really hoping for his safe recovery, Kelly.
Okay, Mark, thank you once again. Like I said, we are all so invested in this story. We want this to